Hello everyone. Today's subject is reading. We are going to finish reading A Letter to My Daughter. Objectives: to interpret or explain the author's words and to identify pronoun reference. Before we continue reading, let's recall some important ideas that we have read in the previous sessions. We know that the writer, who is a mother, is sending a letter to her daughter Maya. The mom compares her own world to her daughter's world, and she gives her a lot of examples that still portray discrimination in her daughter's world. The mother is sending this letter to her daughter, so the daughter understands and realizes that discrimination is still present. She wants her daughter to be aware of the reality that she doesn't really know about. A Letter to My Daughter by Lisa Delpit, Part 4. How will the mom end the letter? Let's continue reading to find out. I am proud, yet torn, when I hear you come to some understanding on your own. Like when you were 7 and playing with a little friend who had brought his cowboy and Indian figures, and you said, "Okay, I'll be the Indians and you be the bad guys." Or when you went bike riding with a friend and came back upset that a white boy, as opposed to just a boy, said he was going to hurt you. Or when you asked me why there weren't any black teachers in your school and added that you hoped that the school didn't think black people weren't as smart as white people. When I told you that you needed to talk to the principal about that, you went right up to her the next day and asked your question. She, to her credit, took your question seriously and explained that they would like to find more black teachers, but that the salaries the school paid made it hard to attract them. Not one to let anyone off easy, you immediately came back with, "Well, have you tried Morehouse?" I am pleased that you have realized that brown skin is good, yet I am saddened that you cannot be innocent to the unfortunate realities surrounding you. You have understood that the color line lives. So Maya does understand that there is a difference between black people and white people. She also has realized that brown skin is good, that although there is a difference, black people are still as smart as white people. And we can see this through the given examples. For example, when she asked why there weren't any black teachers in her school, and she asked the principal, and she told her that the salaries that the school paid made it hard to attract them. Here we also get to assure that Maya is a very smart girl, so she told the principal, "Well, have you tried Morehouse?" Morehouse is a private historically black men's college in Atlanta, Georgia. So what she means here is that these people who are fresh graduates wouldn't mind to teach there, although the salary might be low. The mom is happy that her daughter knows that being black or having dark skin doesn't mean that you are different, and it still means that you are good. But at the same time, the mom is sad that her daughter is not innocent, that she has realized and she has understood the really sad realities around her. So Maya has understood that the color line lives that there is a difference between black people and white people, and there is a line separating them. Let's take a look at the vocabulary words on the left. Predominantly, mainly, or mostly. Sorority, a society for female students in a university or college. Fraternity, a male students' society in a university or college. Disillusioned, disappointed in someone or something that one discovers to be less good than one had believed. Meritocracy, a social system, society, or organization in which people get success or power according to their abilities, not because of their money or social position. Let's continue reading now, paragraph number 17. I know what can happen when African American or other children of color grow up without these understandings. Those children raised in white neighborhoods attending predominantly white schools learn to believe the story that color doesn't matter. Eventually, they are always faced with situations where it does. Sometimes it comes in high school when dates are hard to come by or when assumptions are made about who stole the missing money or who knocked over the neighbor's mailboxes. Sometimes it doesn't come until college when some sorority or fraternity won't grant them admission, or someone mistakes them for the maid, or a professor assumes that all black students need tutoring help. I have seen what happens when this understanding comes late, and it is ugly. These young people frequently internalize the rejection and feel that it is their problem, something they have done to cause the response they get from others. I have seen many so disillusioned when they finally understand that we do not indeed function in a meritocracy, that they drop out of school altogether, coming to believe that the struggle just isn't worth it. So, what would happen to these children of color who believe the story that color doesn't matter? They believe that color doesn't matter because they were raised in white neighborhoods. Obviously, what's going to happen to them is very ugly. Eventually, the mom says they will be faced with situations where they will realize and understand that color does matter. They will realize that they are not as privileged as white people. They're not considered as smart or as important as white people. That they do not live in a meritocracy where people succeed based on their abilities. They will be disillusioned when they find this out. They will be disappointed and depressed that they might drop out of school. They might believe that why should I continue? They might reach the conclusion that the struggle isn't worth it, that they wouldn't want to even continue living. I don't want that for you, Maya. Yet, neither do I want you always looking over your shoulders, wondering whether every hardship or slight had racial overtones. I want desperately to let you believe in the possibility of a future in which color doesn't matter, although I cannot help but wonder if that reality will ever come to pass. I wouldn't be able to stand it if one day You looked me in the eye with a pained, accusatory look and said, as you did when I finally debunked another myth and admitted that Santa Claus doesn't really leave the Christmas presents. But Mom, why didn't you tell me? Love you always, Mom. Please pay attention. The word accusatory means indicating or suggesting that one believes a person has done something wrong. Debunked, exposed the falseness of an idea or belief. Myth, a traditional story involving supernatural beings or events. Finally, the mom tells her daughter that she doesn't want her daughter to realize the sad reality of her society on her own, and she doesn't want her daughter to feel disillusioned or disappointed at some point in her life and feel depressed and that she is useless. So the mom is teaching her daughter and telling her about all these issues in society so she learns a lesson. The mom also tells her that she wouldn't be able to stand it if one day she came to her and looked her in the eye, accusing her that it is her fault. Homework. Answer the following questions. Number 1. Why will Maya's mother be unable to stand it if one day you, Maya, looked me in the eye with a pained, accusatory look and said, "But Mom, why didn't you tell me?" Number 2. What do the following pronouns refer to? Her in paragraph number 15, it in paragraph 17, and them in paragraph 17.